Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulang Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ma'am Ava.
Yes, hello, good morning, Marjorie. And the support of the Department of Education and the application of the K-12 Basic Education Program, our agency has consistently realizing its importance on the direction to produce functional and supervisable teachers and students, provided with the most essential learning competencies and facilities for a really love learning.
Okay, so I think Ma'am Ava is not yet around. We are sorry for the technical error. Hello, Ma'am Ava, can you hear me now? Okay. However, let's proceed. While it is true that we have a lot of challenges in this time of pandemic, it is also true that we have challenges with benchmark and refresh ourselves with new learning and strategy, incapacitating and updating the teachers with the necessary adjustments to deal with the new normal. That is why we are having this online training to assist our beloved teachers as we prepare as opening school year 2020-2021 this August. This is Marjorie Niverillo from CLMD DepEd Regional Office 11, and I would like to greet all of you a very good morning and welcome English teacher participants to the second day of our regional online training on literacy instruction. All right. So while waiting for my partner, Ms. Maureen Ava Acuña, I would like to take this opportunity to greet once again all of you, our dear teacher participants, to our second day training. And today we will have a brand new sessions and a brand new guests and facilitators. But before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our beloved Regional Director, Dr. Evelyn Arvital Veros Sesofore. Good morning, RD, as well as our SDS Josephine Padul, our English Supervisor, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, and of course, our CLMD Chief, Dr. Janet G. Veloso. Good morning po, ma'am. All right. May I request now on screen, Ms. Maureen Ava Acuña. While waiting,
yes,
I would like...
there.
Hello,
Good
Ms.
morning,
Maureen.
Juan.
Okay, all right.
In the support of our Department of Education of the application of the K-12 Miss March and the basic organization, our agency has unceasingly realizing its importance and the directive to produce functional to supervise our teachers and school heads. Of course, as our Undersecretary Jesus Lorenzo R. Mateo said in his message, learning to read is the most important fundamental outcomes to our learners, and for this is to make our learners proficient readers and continue its focus on the quest on the access to quality and relevant education for all. Patuloy ang hamon, Miss March. Bawat bata bumabasa. As we welcome you all in our second day on the regional training of literacy instruction of the learning area, the Curriculum and Learning Management Division on the 28th day of July 2020. This is Maureen Ava Biacuña of the Santa Ana National High School, Division of Davao City. One Davao Region, bawat bata bumabasa, sulong Idokalidad.
All right, Miss Ava, it's so good to finally see you on screen and hear you clearly. How are you, Miss Ava?
I'm pretty fine for today, and I'm really very good. In spite of the fact of our technological, difficulties experience being part of the new normal education and involved much more in the technology education. I really had a wonderful time yesterday because of the worth of information and the relevant presentation of the two resource facilitators yesterday. How about that?
Yes, Mama. And with that saying, I would like to take this time to thank our facilitators yesterday, Dr. Nancy Sumagaysay and Dr. Darwin Suyat, for a very substantial report and presentation yesterday. And also, I would like to thank once again our partners from the division offices, our English education program supervisors from the SDOs for making this event possible. Thank you so much, Dr. Tito Andrina, Dr. Alan D. Gilaran, Dr. Raymond Aquino, Dr. Darwin Suyat, Dr. Emeline Raquel, Dr. Maria Angelita Perpetua Suelto, Dr. Nancy Sumagaysay, Dr. Jesusa Ambrona, Dr. Maria Gina Silvestre, Dr. Hilda Opeña, Dr. Leonila Berdin, Dr. Narmila Espedido, and Mr. Bernardino Magno Jr. And also, Miss Ava, let us not forget to thank our guest earlier this morning, the teacher who gave the recap.
Yeah, of course. Says before.
Okay, Miss Ava, hello. We cannot hear you, Miss Ava.
Okay, it
Okay,
is with
it is
great
with great
pleasure
pleasure.
to have our respected regional director, Dr. Evelyn R. Petalvero, CSO4, and of course, our assistant regional director, Dr. Maria Ines C. Asuncion, our assistant regional director, and of course, our chief of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Region 11, Chief Janet G. Veloso, and along with the ever supportive education program supervisor, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, English learning area, and of course, the one who did for the recapitulation just for today, we have our very own from the Davao Occidental, Ms. Aubrey P. Sano. We have just a lot for today and more to come. Very interesting and engaging presentations for today. And nevertheless, we have a special announcement coming from the Department of Education Central Office, Manila. Right,
Yes,
Ms. Mom?
Miss Ava. Before we proceed, we have a gentle reminder to the teachers or coordinators who will be chosen next to give a recap. We request you to limit your recap. A short but concise message will do. And of course, Miss Ava, our attendance link will be posted now. May I request our controller to please post our attendance link for this morning? So yesterday, based on our generated data, there were 12,000 registrants yesterday. So for our attendance for today, kindly use the link posted below, and we may experience traffic. So we ask you to please bear with us since that is beyond our control sometimes. We advise you, teacher participants, to please refresh the link of the attendance if you will experience some errors. And if necessary, we will extend the time of attendance, of course, to cater all of you. Just in case you will experience some traffic, we will extend our attendance. So again, our attendance is posted below, and all the other links of these sessions for English and Filipino, both for this morning and this afternoon, are also posted on the CLMD Facebook page. So you may check it out and share it to your colleagues.
Precisely correct, Miss Marge. Indeed correct. And this time, we are going to have our next resource facilitator. Okay, so for that, our next resource facilitator is all the way from the division of Matis City. We were impressed with how our resource facilitators yesterday, how much more of today. So on the regional training on literacy instruction in our breakaway session 4 English learning area, teaching phonics and word recognition for successful decoding skills, we have, ladies and gentlemen, teachers and our school heads, Division Education Program Supervisor, Dr. Maria Gina G. Silvestre.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. in support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach, integrating technology, academic community, the household, ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulan Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao region.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Gina Silvestre of the Schools Division of the City of Mati. Welcome to an exciting regional online training on literacy instruction. Our topic for today is about teaching phonics and word recognition for successful decoding skills. This session will lead us to understand that phonics method is one of the most effective ways of learning to read. The whole idea of phonics is to give the students a means to associate words with letters and letter combination so students can pronounce a word that is not known at sight. Phonics allows children to be able to read words they have never seen before by sounding out the word letter by letter. Our resource person for this session is Dr. Valeria Fides G. Corteza, an education program supervisor from Zamboanga City Division. But before we start with the session, let's take note of the following session objectives. At the end of the session, teachers should be able to, number one, understand how phonics for reading directly connects to the science of teaching reading. Number two, discuss the basics of phonics. Number three, identify the steps in teaching phonics using the Fuller approach. Number four, discuss the Fuller technique in teaching beginning reading. Number five, write activities in teaching beginning reading using the Fuller technique or explicit teaching. Now, let us be guided by the key understandings which our resource speaker will thoroughly discuss the whole duration of the session. Number one, phonics is about the alphabetic code. It is about segmenting and blending. It involves recognizing the relationship between letters and sounds. That is alphabetic principle. Number two, phonics is a method of instruction that helps children learn and be able to use the alphabetic principle, the concept that words are made up of letters and letters represent sounds. Number three, phonics instruction does this by teaching children to decode words by sounds, showing them how to make connections between the letters of written text, grapheme or letter symbols, and the sounds of spoken language. Number four, phonics involves the relationship between sounds and their spellings. The goal of phonics instruction is to teach students the most common sound spelling relationships so that they can decode or sound out words. Number five, This decoding ability is a crucial element in reading success. Number 6, phonics allows children to be able to learn words they have never seen before by sounding out the word letter by letter. Number 7, when children learn to read a word by sight, it means that they will be able to remember how to pronounce the word when they see it again. But if they see a word they don't recognize, they won't have the skills needed to decode how to pronounce it. This is why phonics is important. And number 8, teaching children to read with phonics means not only teaching them to decode skills or decoding skills needed to look at a word and pronounce it correctly, but also giving them the skills to know what to do when they discover a new word. So that's our challenge. We need to understand that while we are in this pandemic situation, we need to respond to the challenge or hamon, bawat bata bumabasa. As stated in DepEd Memorandum number 173 series of 2019, every teacher is a reading teacher. That every teacher is responsible to each and every learner's ability to read and understand the text. Thanks to the initiative of Region 11 for coming up with this regional online training on literacy instruction, where all teachers, from kindergarten teachers to grade 12, including the alternative learning system mobile teachers or all teachers, are required to join in this online session. So, find a place where you can comfortably sit, listen, and view the session while having something to eat and water to drink with you during the whole duration of the session. Before viewing the session, please be guided by the following questions. Number 1, what is phonics? Why it is important in teaching beginning reading? Number 2, how should we structure phonics instruction in the classroom? Number 3, what are the different types of phonics? Number 4, how is phonics different from phonemic awareness? Number 5, identify some phonics terms. Again, number 1 question, what is phonics? Why it is important in teaching beginning reading? Number 2, how should we structure phonics instruction in the classroom? Number 3, what are the different types of phonics? Number 4, how is phonics different from phonemic awareness? Number 5, identify some phonics terms. So please answer these questions while watching the session. Your answer shall be submitted using the link on screen. So this time, I will now turn you over to our speaker, Dr. Valeria Fides G. Corteza.
Teaching phonics and word recognition for successful decoding skills. In one of my readings, I came across with an idiom that says, there are many ways to skin a cat. And that means there are multiple ways to accomplish something. In most cases, it is absolutely true. There is usually more than one solution to a problem and different ways to approach most tasks. When talking about teaching reading, there are several approaches that have been researched and debated. The aforementioned idiom also means that an issue can be approached in different ways, but the final result will be the same. With reading, that is not the case. The manner of instruction is just as important, if more so, as what is instructed, and it significantly affects the result. So it is very important to do the instructions in teaching reading right. And the objectives for this session will be to understand how phonics for reading directly connects to the science of teaching reading, discuss the basics of phonics, identify the steps in teaching phonics using the Fuller approach, and discuss the Fuller technique in teaching beginning reading. And we will be writing activities in teaching beginning reading using the Fuller technique or the explicit teaching. Very quickly, we will just do this brainstorming activity. So I would like you to group, and according to Sir Denmark, there are 5 regions. So let us just group by region. So we will have 5 groups, discuss the ways how to teach or develop decoding and word recognition skills to your students. Just go back to the classroom and think of how do you teach decoding and beginning skills, and then what are the challenges some student may have with decoding and word recognition. So we will just work this out for 3 minutes. What are the ways to teach decoding and word recognition skills? And if these are the ways that you have identified, why is it that some of our students still do not know how to decode words? What could be some of the problems? So we see this is phonics. The topic is on phonics, and phonics is about knowledge of the alphabetic code, skills of segmenting and blending. Phonics is a method of instruction that helps children learn and be able to use the alphabetic principle. The concept that words are made up of letters and letters represents the sounds. So in the earlier, Ma'am Rose has the sounds. This one, lalapatan natin ng simbolo ang mga tunog. We'll place symbols with the sounds so that we will be teaching phonics. Phonics instruction With phonics instruction, we does this by teaching children to decode words by sound, showing them how to make connections between the letters of written text, the graphemes or letter symbols, and the sounds of spoken language. Phonics involves the relationship between sounds and their spelling. So pag alam mo ang sound, alam mo mag-spell. The goal of phonics instructions is to teach students the most common sound spelling relationship so that they can decode or sound out words. This decoding ability is crucial element in reading success when they know how to decode. Let's try this. I want you to read this. Okay, this is the longest word in the dictionary. This is actually a word. Were you able to read it? Who would like to read it? Sige nga, please na nga. Try lang.
All right. Um, pneumono ultramicroscopic silicon novolcanosis.
Okay. Everybody, let's all read. 1, 2, go. Okay, very well. What's the experience? What did you do to be able to read? Anong ginawa una? Siyempre pagkakita parang, tapos paano nabasa? Kasi nabasa. Is this the first time you see this word? Yes, but you were able to decode. What's the principle behind? What did you do? You segment the letters. Yes, what else? Syllabication is segmenting the letters. What else did you do? You blend the sounds. And because you have the knowledge, you already know that this word, kaya nga lang ano siya, kaya nga lang itong this one, how do you pronounce this? Okay. Because you already have the background knowledge. Pero pag ang bata, what I want you to do is just to experience how to attack a word, how to read a word without actually, this is the first time that you have read the word, you don't know the word, but you were able to read. That's actually what I would like you to feel. And you were able to read. This is the meaning of the word. Refers to a lung disease contracted from the inhalation of a very silica particles, especially from a volcano, is the same as silicosis. So that's the meaning of the word actually. Everybody please read. What's the experience? Easy? Easy, why? Okay. When, yes, prior knowledge again, and you know how to decode, and you know the principles, and you can easily see it just by looking at the word because it has been there in your books, in your cell phones, everywhere you have read and you have seen the word, and it's automatic. That is what we would like our children to do. When they see the word, they will automatically read it. Why is phonics important? Phonics allows children to be able to learn words they have never seen before by sounding out the word letter by letter, just like we did with the very long word. We have not seen it before, but we can read it. That is what we want our children to do. When children learn to read by word sight, it means they will be able to remember how to pronounce that word when they see it again. But if they see a word they don't recognize, they won't have the skills needed to decode how to pronounce it. This is why phonics is important. So you teach the letter sound so that when they will see the word, they will be able to read it. Teaching children to read with phonics means not only teaching them the decoding skills needed to look at the word and pronounce it correctly, but also giving them the skills to know what to do when they discover a new word. Like the first word I showed you, like the longest word I showed you, you know what to do with it. That is what we are going to teach our children to do. When they are more skilled, when the children are more skilled, and they have all the phonic sounds, it will become automatic and your child will be able to read fluently just like the word. Everybody, please. Is this a word? What's the meaning? Okay. Actually, in the www, it is classified as nonsense word. But people have meaning for this. How should we structure phonics instruction? Dalawa lang. You go explicit and you go explicit. Because you can either go bottom up or top down. Pwedeng ganon. Pero explicit pa rin siya. Because According to researches, according to the source, it is the most effective type of phonics instruction, especially for children at risk for reading difficulties. You can also use implicit instruction, but it is more on discovering clues. This one, you have to teach all and you have to teach them how to blend. Explicit, para siyang incidental learning lang. Pero pwede siya. Okay? So these are the ano ba to? Explanation of going explicit is a structured literacy and going implicit, it's analytical phonics. So let's try to see the different types of phonics. So we have three. We have analytic phonics, embedded, and synthetic phonics. So with analytic, begins with a whole word and analyzes it. So you have the word and then you segment it and then you go down to the last sound. When you do that, with analytic, you notice the first letter or letters in the word. And then students taught to compare a sound pattern within the words and then taught along with the whole word method. So if it is analytic, it's whole word method. If it is embedded, it's incidental. Phonics taught in the context of reading stories or when problems arises. Pag may nakitang word, tsaka lang ituturo. Pag synthetic, magsisimula siya sa code. Magsisimula siya sa sounds of the letter. And you will notice every letter in the word left to right. Dito, sa analytic, ang first letter lang. Dito, lahat ng letters. And then, you teach them how to blend and then read decodable stories. Analytic phonics includes analogy phonics by teaching onset and rhyme. So mamaya, when we will work with fuller approach, we do the onset and rhyme by word families. Kanina, in-explain na ni Ma'am Rose. Mamaya, ipapakita ko kung paano siya gagawin. Embedded is incidental. Kung kailan mo lang siya na come across, kung kailan mo lang siya nakita, tsaka mo lang siya ituturo. So sometimes, some vowel sounds are often left untaught. This is the setback of embedded. Synthetic, learn to segment words to spell them. Some common spelling words are taught. You heard Ma'am Ross when she say, if you can read it, you can spell it. Because, again, the sounds are already taught. And this is systematic. No guessing from pictures, initial letter, context, or word shapes. So they don't guess. You or we teach them. So it involves relationship between sounds and written symbols, whereas phonemic awareness involves sounds in spoken language. Sinabi na ni Ma'am Rose kasi yan. Halimbawa sa word na cat, bawat letters merong sounds. So when you ask the children to manipulate those, it's phonemic awareness. And it is on oral. Oral language lang talaga siya. If it's phonics, it's giving it the written symbols. Okay, most phonic awareness tasks are oral. So these are the phonic terms. So we should know what phoneme is the smallest unit of sounds in spoken language. So these are examples of phonemes. And when you know they are inside the slanting lines, it means that's the sound. It's not the letters, it's a sound. So grapheme, the letter or the group of letters representing one speech sound. Onset, the initial consonant or consonant cluster in the word name. N is the onset, and the word blue, BL is the onset or bl. The rhyme is the vowel or vowels, is the vowel or vowel and consonants that follow the onset. So in the word name, aim is the rhyme. So this one is the most, one of the best ways to use in teaching beginning reading or decoding and word recognition. So you have the digraphs, vowel graph, schwa sound, and the morpheme. Those are phonic terms that we use, but we don't teach this to our children. We make them feel it and use it.
Thank you very much for watching the video on teaching reading or teaching phonics and word recognition for successful decoding skills with Dr. Valeria Fides G. Corteza. This time we will be reading again the questions we posed before the video was being played. Number 1, what is phonics? Why it is important to teaching beginning reading? How should we structure phonics instruction in the classroom? What are different types of phonics? How is phonics different from phonemic awareness? Identify some phonics terms. What are those phonics terms that we have learned from this session? Okay, so in closing, let me share with you the quote from Dr. Rosalina J. Villaneza. And I quote, "The learner's ability to read is in our hands." Good morning and God bless us all.
Welcome to CLMD in support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach, integrating technology academic community, the household, ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
Thank you so much to our Dr. Gina G, Education Program Supervisor of the Division of Mati City, Dr. Gina G. Silvestre. Thank you so much, Madam. Indeed, what a brilliant presentation. We are just back delighted of your presentation today. And hello there, Dr. Gina G. Silvestre. Hi, ma'am. I'm calling on screen, Ma'am Gina
Yes.
G.
Good morning,
Hello.
Ma'am Ava. Good morning. Okay. Do I need to discuss the details of those questions, the answers of those questions, Ma'am Ava?
Yes, please go ahead, ma'am, so that they will have substantial information to all our teacher participants in entire Region 11.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have to share the screen. Jimmy, please help. Share. Ask me is share. Okay. Kasi magkagawa.
Okay, so while Ma'am Gina G. Silvestre is preparing for the presentation, I just would like to remind everyone that there is a top official of the Department of Education will come in at any time. And of course, I know for sure that you're all very excited because this is none less than the Regional Training on Literacy Instruction of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division entire Region 11. I know for sure that our teacher training participants, they are all excited and impressed with the different pedagogical strategies presented by our education program supervisors in the 11 divisions of Davao City. And of course, we would like to acknowledge always the presence of our respected Dr. Evelyn R. Petalbero, CESO 4, the Regional Director of Region 11, together with our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Maria Inestia Asuncion, CESO 5, and of course, our Chief of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Chief Janet G. Velosa, and this is also spearheaded by the English Learning Area, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, Education Program Supervisor, Region 11. Today is the second day, and this is actually a 5-day webinar of our regional training on literacy instruction. If in case you have your comments, suggestions, the Padlet link is going to flash on the screen on this regional training on literacy instruction. So this is from July 27 to the 31st of 2020. Okay, so the Padlet now is flashed on the screen. You can have your comments, suggestions, questions. I know for sure that brilliant teachers will always have questions because I always believe that this is the avenue for you to have your queries and questions because we have none less than the experts of this presentation. So for today, we have Dr. Gina G. Silvestre from the Division of Mati City. Okay, she is an education program supervisor. And of course, at this time, we have to keep our mind that we have our top official from the Department of Education who will come at any time to give his inspirational message to all our teacher training participants, school heads, entire Region 11. Okay, so please do not forget your attendance. Signify your attendance on the link provided. If in case you encounter some technical problems because of the heavy traffic encountered of the many participants that we have in our regional training. But do not worry because that is still open for all to our teachers who will register up until this afternoon. Okay, so the AM attendance is flashed on the screen and the Padlet link is also flashed in the screen. And at the same time, we also would like to remind that the scrolling text was flashed during the presentation of Dr. Gina G. Silvestre so that you can have the link on the presentation. Okay, so, well, we have our education program supervisor back live in the live, Dr. Gina G. Silvestre.
Napasok na? Diyos ko eh.
Okay, so while Ma'am Gina is busy preparing, she is really engrossed in her presentation. We'll have on our next breakaway session. And this is going to be the breakaway session 5, direct fluency instruction for developing independent readers, Division Education Program Supervisor from the Island Garden City of Samao, Dr. Jesusa L. Ambrona. Our session breakaway 5, Dr. Jesosa L. Ambrona. Okay, so this is going to be the next breakaway session on direct fluency instruction for developing independent readers. So we're waiting to our resource facilitator, Dr. Jesosa L. Ambrona. So this is it. Okay, so all our resource facilitators are so engrossed to our first this morning. We'll have to get back with Dr. Gina G. Silvestre. She has to continue for the substantial information on her presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, Region 11 training participants, Dr. Gina G. Silvestre.
Ano? Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hi,
Good morning
madam. Please take it
again.
away.
Okay, so we will be talking about the questions posed before the video was presented or being played. So the question was, what is phonics? So it was said that phonics is a method of teaching reading in which you teach students the letters of the alphabet and their sounds first. So the letter has its a sound relationship, no? Combination. So next, children are taught to blend. When they say in phonemic awareness, we taught our children the sound of every letter, no? B, A, T. If blended, it is bat. B, A, T. In phonemic, if we blend it in phonics, it's bat. So, to form words. And then to naturally build vocabulary and increase fluency and comprehension. So it is about knowledge of alphabetic code. Let's say the letter code F or A. Letter A has its corresponding sounds like AE or A or AI or EIGH or AY. So as in AI as in laid, so A, no? So there is, in every letter of the alphabet, there is a corresponding sound. And EIGH, of which we sounded it as A also, as in 8, and AY sounded as A also. So with letter code C, no? Letter C has its corresponding sounds K as in cat and S as in city. So that is phonics, no? Knowledge of alphabetic code with its letter sound correspondence. It is about skills of segmenting. Kanina, the resource speaker pointed out the word, the very long word, no? And then we segment it so that we can have it, we can have the decodable text and understandable text, segmenting or syllabicating, or phoneme by phoneme, segmenting and blending. So when we say segmenting, b, at, if it is segmented, and blended, when blended, it is bat. When bat is segmented, it is b, at. Okay, so that is phonics. It's about skills of segmenting and blending. Then why it is important? Because it teaches our children how to decode letters into their respective sounds. Having letter sound knowledge will allow children to make the link between the unfamiliar print words to their spoken knowledge. So it is very important that phonemic awareness should be founded in every learner so that they can read or they can have the letter and the sound. If they know the letter, the sound of the letter, then they can blend the sound into a word. So why is it important? Because it's not only because this knowledge allows children to read in their own, but it is also a learning mechanism. Yes, a learning mechanism, just like the word, the very long word given. posted by our resource speaker. So we need to, it is a learning mechanism because we blend, we segment, no? We segment first the words, the readable word, and then blend it. So it's a learning mechanism. Phonics is a learning mechanism that builds up a good print word dictionary that can be quickly accessed. So effective phonics instruction is important because letter sound knowledge is the foundation needed to build up reading and writing abilities. That's why uh, we need to develop the phonemic awareness of our students before teaching phonics. How should we structure phonics instruction in the classroom? So, phonics instruction should be explicit rather than implicit. Implicit. Why explicit? Because in explicit phonics instruction, the sounds associated with the letters are identified in isolation and then blended together to form a word. So, in phonemic awareness, we teach our children the l, m, p. So the sounds of every letter of a word. So in phonics instruction, using explicit instruction, we have to associate the sound associated with the letters in isolation. So and blend it. So we say lamp. So then blend it to make it lamp. Lamp. When we are in the lamp, we are still in a phonemic awareness. But if we teach our children to blend these sounds together to make it a lamp, then we are teaching phonics in explicit way. While in implicit phonics instruction, children are often encouraged to utilize context and picture cues. So there is a picture and there is the word. So that is implicit. And let the children or the learner infer the sound of the letters. So that is implicit. Well, the first one is explicit because we teach them the phonemic way of reading the word, meaning segmenting the sounds within the word and blending it to make a word. So that is explicit. In implicit, there is a word already and there is a picture cue so that the child can infer the sound of a letter from that word. So what are the different types of phonics? We have analytic phonics, we have embedded phonics, and we have synthetic phonics. So in analytic phonics, teaching students to analyze letter-sound relationships in previously learned words to avoid pronouncing sounds in isolation, like 8, the number 8. So we will not teach the children, the learners to say eh, g, t, but the a as sounded as a, no? 8. So there are only two sounds there, no? A and t. So that is analytic. Embedded phonics is the word, or it is already in the context of the reading stories. No, the phonics is taught in context of reading stories, and then when the child, when there is a problem met by the child in reading, then we have to solve. No, we have to teach the child how to read that word, that difficult word. So that is embedded. So we only have the phonics or teach the children using phonics when she or he met that problem in reading the text. While in synthetic phonics, teaching students explicitly to convert letters into sounds or phonemes, no, synthetic, and then blend the sounds to form recognizable words. So that's synthetic phonics, no? Convert the L or the A as in A and have it AY. So, and then blend the sounds to form recognizable words. That is synthetic. Okay? So, in analytic method, focuses on learning the onset or sounds made before the first vowel and the rhyme. So, onset, the first vowel, and the rhyme, the 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 sound that follows, like but. So, the onset there is b, and the at is the rhyme. Okay? In the word cat, the k sound is the onset and the at is the rhyme, forming the word cat. So that is analytic method. We teach onset and rhyme. In the embedded, children receive explicit instruction on the letter sound relationships while reading print media. So sight word reading is utilized to teach the letter sound relationship. As I have said, we will just solve the problem or teach the children when he finds it difficult, the word difficult for him to read. That is embedded. So how is phonics different from phonemic awareness? In phonics involves the relationship between individual phonemes and the letters that represent them, the graphemes, or the spelling. So, as what we have discussed, in letter code C has a corresponding sounds K as in cat, S as in city. So, letter code A has a corresponding phoneme sound A as in graphemes AY, as in say, EAGHA as in eight, or A as in apple. So that is how we spell, no, the graphemes. So phonemic awareness is the ability to focus on the separate individual sounds in words. So how many phonemes are there in a word bat? There are three. B, at, b, at. So those are phonemes. So children should be aware that the word bat has three phonemes, phonemic awareness. So the smallest unit of sound. No? B, at. So if we are teaching, if the child can read the word with the sounds only b, at, so the child is still on its phonemic awareness. But if the child can read as bat, so the child is already in, you're already teaching the child the phonics. Okay, understand? So identify phonics terms. So there the speaker discussed about phoneme, the smallest unit of sound in our spoken language, the grapheme, a written letter or a group of letters representing one speech sound, as in IGH, as I, as in light, EIGH as in A as in 8. So that is grapheme. So a letter or a group of letters representing one sound. Morpheme is the smallest meaningful units of language. So like cat, red, so it's a morpheme. It's a word. No? And it is also the word unpredictable has several morphemes. Meaningful unit of language. Un, we know un, meaning not. Pre, so before. Dict, meaning word. Able, meaning capacity. So, morpheme is the smallest meaningful units of language. Kanang masabtan, no? Kanang masabtan nga word. Kung putol-putulo nimo ang word like kanina, pneumono meaning lungs. Okay, so ganyan, no? That's morpheme. Okay, onset is the initial consonant or consonant cluster. Like the word name, the onset there is and the rhyme is aim. Okay. Blue, the onset is blue, and the rhyme is ooh, blue. Okay, so the rhyme is the vowel or vowel and consonants that follow the onset. We have also the digraph, no? Two letters that represent one sound. The sh and sheet, she, ch, as in chair, the or theme or them, as in face. Okay, so those are digraphs. No? Two letters representing one speech sound. And we have diphthong. It is a sound made by combining two vowels, specifically when it starts as one vowel sound and goes to another, like the oi sound in oil. So it's not oil, but oil. Okay, oi. The oi there is oi, so oil. And ow, as in loud. Okay, so I think we have answered the 5 answers posed before the video was presented. Who got perfect? So in the end, I will reiterate the quote of Dr. Villaneza that the learner's ability to read is in our hands. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gina G. Silvestre of the Division of Mati City and at this time, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Gina Silvestre, for that comprehensive presentation regarding phonics and word recognition. Before we proceed to the next session, I would like to remind our viewers that the evaluation link that we gave you yesterday is already closed. Again, please do not bother to access it again because it's already closed. We will post a brand new link for the evaluation, so please stand by. And regarding the links of the tasks to be given by the speakers or our facilitators, please see or be aware of the scrolling text below. May I request our controller, Mr. Sir Cholo, let's show a sample of the scrolling text so that our viewers can see what it looks like. Okay, so below the screen, on your screen is a sample of the scrolling text. So here we will post the link of the task to be given by the speakers or the facilitators, and there you can send in your answers. Okay, so while they're discussing their topic, that link will be running below your screen, so please copy it and share it to your colleagues. Again, our attendance link is still open. Please, let's show once again our attendance link. You may still signify your attendance, and we encourage our viewers to send in any questions regarding our topic this morning. You may send in your inquiries or clarifications through our Padlet link, sir. Let us show our Padlet link. We will also request our controllers to show or post our Padlet link on the live comment section so that you can copy it in case you miss the post right now. All right. So our next session for this morning is about direct fluency instruction for developing independent readers. And that will be given to us by Dr. Jesusa L. Ambrona. I guess Dr. Jesusa is ready. So please let us witness all together the presentation of Dr. Jesusa Ambrona.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach. Integrating technology, academic community, the household, ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulang Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao region.
Good day. I am Jesusa P. Ambrona of Samal City Division. This morning, I will be facilitating on Session 5, Direct Fluency Instruction for Developing Independent Readers. First, allow me to bring you back to the PISA assessment. In the recent result of the Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, the Philippines ranked second to the lowest. PISA assessments cover three foundational domains, namely reading literacy, mathematical literacy, and scientific literacy, where Filipino students obtained a mean score of 340 points in the overall reading literacy scale, significantly lower than the OECD average of 487 points. It is at this juncture that the birth of the acronym KITE of the Department of Education came to its existence. The kite is symbolic of the Filipino spirit and of the vision our department is determined to pursue for its learners. It symbolizes sulong edukalidad, the department's national effort to respond to the biggest lingering challenge of basic education in the country, quality, particularly students' learning outcomes. The regional online training on reading literacy answers one of the quadrants that represents the pillars of sulong edukalidad. K for the K-12 review and update, I, improving the learning environment, T for teachers upskilling and reskilling, and E, engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration. The Regional Office 11, through the Curriculum Learning Management Development, focuses on the letter T for teachers upskilling and reskilling. With this, let us empty our cups and fill in new knowledge as we journey together in pursuit of quality education to improve learning outcomes. But before that, focus questions will be shown on screen as our guide, after which we shall listen rapidly along with the discussion through the video presentation of our resource person. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored and privileged to introduce to you our resource person, Maria Rita Teresa Villanueva from the Schools Division Office of Dagupan City.
afternoon to everyone. This afternoon, our session would be on direct fluency instruction for developing independent readers. In this session, we'll focus on the broad definition of fluency, the importance of fluency, and the factors that affect its development. And this session will also provide some effective building fluency activities. Okay. To start with, at the end of the session, the participants shall be able to first define fluency and its critical attributes. Second, explain the importance of automaticity and fluency in the reading process. Third, identify and demonstrate different fluency building strategies effective for developing reading fluency. And fourth is to describe the elements that have been most effective for developing reading fluency. And to start with, we are going to have the anticipation guide. You are going to write agree or disagree in each statement. So please get a piece of paper, write agree or disagree in each statement. For number one, having a good reading fluency helps a reader to have a good comprehension. Having a good reading fluency helps a reader to have a good comprehension. Number two, increased amount of decoding instruction would automatically lead to improved fluency. Number three, skilled readers examine closely most of the words they encounter. Number four, fluency and automaticity are the same. Five, between repeated monitored oral reading and independent silent reading, the former improves reading fluency in the overall reading achievement. And the last one, round robin reading, during which students take turns reading a few sentences or a paragraph, is one of the least effective practice configurations for students striving for reading fluency. For the first activity, you are going to have your group activity wherein you will have your brainstorming what you know about oral reading fluency. What does it mean? What does it look like? What does it sound like? Okay. So your outputs defined what reading fluency is, and reading fluency is the ability to read accurately with meaning, at the same time using expression and proper phrasing. Fluency combines rate and accuracy that requires automaticity and involves reading with prosody. Fluency is the ability to read like you speak. Baga binabasa nyo po, ito yung parang binibigkas nyo na lang po. And fluency includes speed and accuracy and proper expression that it can be performed without conscious action. Automaticity is quick, accurate recognition of words. It frees cognitive resources to process meaning and is achieved through corrective practice. Para ma-attain po natin ang automaticity, kailangan practice lang po tayo ng practice. And prosody is the ability to read text orally using appropriate pitch, stress, and juncture. Prosody is to project natural intonation and phrasing of the spoken word upon the written text. So natural lang po ang ating pagsasalita. Pagdating po sa ng prosody. Okay, fluency is not the end in itself, but it is a critical gateway going to comprehension. There are three important dimensions that build a bridge to comprehension. So ang fluency po, ito po yung bridge going to comprehension it's bridging the gap from word recognition to comprehension. The first dimension is accuracy and decoding. It is decoding precision. Next dimension is automaticity or reading effortlessly, swift recognition of words. And the third one is expressiveness or prosody, oral expressiveness. First side one, ito pong side, yung accuracy and decoding or the decoding precision, a reader must be able to sound out the words in text correctly. And in terms of skills, mas na-develop po ito pagdating po ng phonics. It refers to phonics and other strategies for decoding words. And for the second dimension, yung automaticity or reading effortlessly, skilled readers not only are able to identify words accurately, but also recognize them instantly. Kaya pagtingin pa lang po nila ng isang sentence, kaya na po nilang basahin. This is important because readers who need to spend a significant portion of their time identifying individual words rarely have enough attention left over to focus on a text meaning. So pag isa-isa po ang pagbasa po ng bata, hindi siya automatic. Ang pag-intindi po niya sa text, sa meaning ng text, hirap po siya. In order to ensure, it is also important to note that in order to ensure adequate comprehension, learners must develop automatic word recognition through the extensive reading of connected text rather than simply developing the ability to decode words. And for the last one, expressive prosody, ito po yung dapat pag binasa po ng bata ang isang text o isang story, kailangan merong tamang intonation, pronunciation, tsaka yung phrasing, and yung expression po. Why? Imagine a child who reads without stopping pag may mga punctuation marks, tuloy-tuloy pa po yan, hindi niya mas maiintindihan po yung kanyang binabasa, yung meaning from that. Okay, why is fluency important? Fluency is important because it provides a bridge between word recognition and comprehension, according to National Institute of Fluency Literacy. Over 30 years of research indicates that fluency is one of the critical building blocks of reading because fluency development is directly related to comprehension. So in other words, fluent readers recognize words and comprehend at the same time. Yung less fluent readers, however, they must focus their attention on figuring out words, leaving them little attention for understanding the text. So yun po ang sa less fluent readers. Iniisa-isa pa po niya yung pagde-decode ng words. Sa fluent readers naman, since kaya na po nilang basahin yung mga words, so they give meaning na po dun na po sa kanilang binabasa. Theory of automaticity. Ito po pinapakita niya na ang less fluent readers need to allocate more resources to decoding. So mas mahaba po ang oras niya sa pagde-decode than comprehension, while more fluent readers have more resources available for comprehension. According to Dr. Samuels, people have a limited amount of mental energy. If you want to multitask or to become proficient at a complex task such as reading, you first need to master the component tasks so you can do them automatically. For example, a reader who must focus his or her attention on decoding words may not have enough time or mental energy to read the meaning of the text. However, a fluent reader who can automatically decode the words can instead give full attention in comprehending the text. Here, fluency bridges the gap. These were the phonics, decoding, and word recognition are the three word level skills na dapat ma-develop ng isang fluent reader. Because a fluent reading depends on this word level skills, which are phonics, wherein a reader should build a solid base of sound spelling correspondence. And for decoding, needs the ability to put sound and letters together into words. And word recognition, a reader needs to be able to recognize words. And when a reader can do these things automatically, that student is able to focus his or her mental energies in comprehending the text. While fluency doesn't ensure comprehension, kasi kahit fluent ka, hindi po 'yun proof na kaya na po niya mag-comprehend. Comprehension is difficult, but comprehension is difficult without fluency. Fluency is the crucial bridge between word recognition and comprehension. Okay. Fluency is accurate and rapid naming of reading letters or sounds, words, sentences, or passages. So there's a need for us to give fluency instruction. When students can perform reading and reading-related tasks quickly and accurately, they are in the path of fluency, which is an essential element for comprehension in mature reading. And to let or develop our pupils to be fluent, students need to learn to decode words rapidly and accurately, as well as connected text. And to increase reading speed while maintaining accuracy, what should teachers do to struggling readers? So hindi po lahat po ng ating bata ay kahit na kaya na po niya mag-decode, ay na-acquire na rin po niya ang fluency. What should teachers need to do? First is to provide opportunities for guided oral repeated reading that includes support and feedback from teachers, peers, and parents. Next, match reading text and instruction to individual pupil. Kung ano po yung level ng bata sa fluency, kailangan i-match po natin yon. If the level of the child is frustration at kaya lang po niyang basahin is for grade 3 level, kahit na grade 5 na po siya, give that material to them. Apply systematic classroom instructional assessment to monitor students' progress in both rate and accuracy. Okay. Why should we provide fluency instruction? According to Perfetti, suggests that slow word reading interferes with automaticity and thus impairs reading comprehension. And also research indicates that students who have reading difficulties have significant problems in fluency and continue to be slow readers in adolescence and adulthood. So, ibig sabihin, pag hindi po na-develop ng mga bata ang fluency sa elementary grade, may effect na po yan pagdating po niya ng adulthood. And also, according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, or the NAEP, there's a report that they released that on reading ability, reveal only that 44% of our students has fluency. Students who struggle with comprehension focus so much on the decoding words that they pay less attention to understanding what they read. Fluency instruction may be the missing element in reading instruction. For most teachers, because most of us learn to teach reading with a focus on accuracy and comprehension, few of us were taught to read quickly and automatically. Though some students will learn to read fluently with little instruction from teachers, many will require practice. Kailangan po practice ng practice. Like for example, kung may papabasa po tayo ng short passage sa ating mga estudyante, kailangan repeated reading po yon. Not today, itong passage niya, The following day, iba po. Pwedeng yung passage na yun, uulitin po ulit niyang basahin through repeated reading. Effective fluency building instruction, these are the critical features of fluency instruction. Corrective feedback. Pag narinig po natin na mali po ang nabigkas po niya ng bata, we have to give corrective feedback. Pero wag naman po natin sabihin, mali ka. Let's just read the word, read the phrase, or read the sentence correctly. Okay? Keep the end in mind. Fluency is only part of the picture. Part lang po siya ng big six. So, pero yun ang isang nagbe-bridge po from word recognition to comprehension. Fluency instruction needs repeated readings, relatively brief sessions, 15 to 30 minutes, and not all children need all learn to differentiate. So, ibig sabihin, ito po, we have to consider the individual differences of our pupils. And effective fluency building instruction rests on 3 critical decisions. First is we have to select appropriate instructional tasks. Like example, letter sounds, students can produce accurately but not fluently. Tama na siyang magbigkas ng isang letter na yon or word na yung basahin niya, pero hindi naman siya fluent. Second is scheduling a sufficient practice or multiple opportunities per day. And the third one is systematically increasing the rate of response. Pag meron kayo pong tinawag na pupil na mabasa for this day, ang pagbasa niya sa passage na yun is nagbasa siya for 5 minutes. The following day, dapat pagbinasa na po niya, nagbabawas na po siya ng oras. At saka dapat yung speed na niya, instead of having an error of 10 words do sa passage, the following day, sana 5 na po, na dapat meron pong rate of response. Steps to providing fluency instruction. First, measure students' fluency by giving them the assessment on fluency. Second, set fluency goals for individual students. Third, select appropriate text for fluency building instruction. Model fluent reading. Hindi po natin sila basta-basta pababayaan na magbasa. Kailangan teacher should model first. Next is provide repeated reading opportunities with corrected feedback. And we should monitor students' progress. For independent level on fluency ng mga bata, the child will have 1 in 20 words difficulty, 90% to 100% accuracy, and relatively easy for the reader. Yung text po, relatively easy na po sa kanila. For instructional level, words are difficult. 90% to 95% accuracy and challenging but manageable text for the reader. And for frustration level, less than 90% accuracy and difficult text for the reader. Yung talagang text na binasa niya ay talagang hirap na hirap po siya. Now, how to help students become fluent readers is first, provide them with models of fluent reading, then have the students reread the text on their own. By listening to good models of fluent reading, then students learn how a reader's voice can help written text to make sense. Read aloud orally daily to your students by reading effortlessly and with expression. You are modeling for students how a fluent reader sounds with your reading. And the second, to do this, first build an inventory of what your students should read. Second, you should know how your students should read aloud repeatedly By pointing each word, you can show the students where and when to raise or lower your voice. So yun po, yung repeated reading po na pwede natin gawin sa mga bata with guidance, with our guidance. Fluency develops a result of many opportunities to practice from practices with high degree of succession. Kung ngayon, 5 mistakes, 5 errors lang siya, bukas, siguro 3 errors na lang po siya dun sa fluency. What students should read? First, students should practice orally rereading text that is reasonably easy for them. Dapat nasa independent level po nila. Because if we will give a text that is difficult for them, then definitely we teachers will be frustrated kasi makikita po natin sa kanila na hindi sila fluent. Next, the text your students practice for reading orally should also be relatively short. 50 to 200 words pa po would depend pero sa kanilang age level but sometimes on their ability pa rin po. The text should be the student's independent reading level. Poems for children are good materials. Why? Kasi dito po nakikita po nila yung rhythm and rhyme, and then na-enjoy po nila, and it would be so easy and fun and rewarding for them. Mas madali po nila itong ma-practice. Building fluency, we need to have oral fluency assessment, direct fluency instruction, and fluency practice. Now, what is the direct fluency instruction and intervention? This involves modeling and practice with repeated reading under the pressure. So, repeated reading po to. The teacher should use most of her allocated reading instruction for direct teaching of reading skills and strategies. Although silent reading or independent reading may be a way to increase fluency and reading achievement, it should not be used in place of direct instruction in reading. Kasi pang pagkakaiba po ng monitored oral reading, we can give feedback. We can give corrected feedback, tsaka pwede rin po nating sabihin na ito po ang dapat na pagbasa niyan. While in silent reading, independent reading, nalalaman po ba natin kung talagang nababasa po ba ng bata yon? Malay nyo yung mga bata natin is just mimicking, ginagaya lang po nila ang kanilang kaklase. So direct instruction is especially important for readers who are struggling. Scientifically based research of fluency instruction that repeated and monitored oral reading, students read passages aloud several times and receive guidance and feedback from their teacher. So, mas maganda pa pong gawin ang repeated reading for struggling readers kaysa sa silent, independent reading. Tapos pag gagawin po natin yung repeated reading, practice lang po natin ito, paggawa lang po natin ito ng 4 times, pero not necessary na sa isang araw po nila ito gagawin. Pwede rin pong magbigay sa iba pang araw. Pero using first same passage or same text for repeated reading. Pag na-develop na po nila yung fluency dun sa text na yun or sa passage na yun, then give again another passage or text. Oral reading practice is increased through the use of audio tapes, tutors, peer guidance, or other means. Findings revealed that repeated reading procedures that offer guidance and feedback are effective for improving word recognition, fluency, and comprehension, and overall reading achievement. Students with low fluency benefit from repeated reading with a model and a reading text that is chunked in words or in phrases. So, practices that can be used to teach fluent explicitly. So, ito na po yung mga strategies na pwede rin po natin gawin. Reading with a model. The model reader can be a teacher, adult, or an older student. The model reader reads the passage first, then the student read it. Next, the student reads the passage again as quickly and accurately as he or she can without speed reading first. And then later on, yung sunod na po niyang gagawin, doon na po tayo magkakaroon na po ng speed reading. Fluency develops as a result of many opportunities to practice. Tapos ang pwede rin po natin gawin na mga model readers, tingnan rin po natin yung key points. Hindi lang po puro basa ang pabasa pagpapagawa po natin. They should also develop to get the key points and later on, i-summarize rin po nila yung kanila pong binasa. Effective practice is choral reading. In choral or unison reading, students read along as a group with the teacher or another fluent adult teacher. Students follow as long as teacher reads from a book or from their copy. If you are going to choose a book, ito po yung nasa independent level nila ng most of the students pag sa group po, sa klase. Huwag niyo pong pipiliin kung ano po yung kayang gawin ng mga nasa independent level. Yung kaya po ng lahat ang pipiliin nito. And it would be better if you would choose a patterned or predictable books. Kasi later on, pag may pattern na po siya, pwede na rin po silang sumunod kahit na hindi pa po nila, pag nakikita na po nila yung mga words na paulit-ulit po for repetitions. Next is tape-assisted reading. Students read along in their books as they hear a fluent reader. Read the book on an audio tape. So audio tape po ito. For tape-assisted reading, you need a book at a student's independent reading level and a tape recording of the book read by a fluent reader. The important role of the teacher is to determine that the students are following along and reading the text while the story is read aloud. Doon sa tape-assisted material po, kailangan yung material po, dapat wala siyang sound effect ng music. Talagang purely pagbasa lang po ng bata. For the first reading, the student should follow along with the tape. Susunod lang po siya. And then later on, tapos habang sumusunod po siya, tinuturo po niya yung words. And then later on, the student should try to read aloud along the tape. Una, pa-follow lang po siya. Sunod, read aloud. And then later on, mawawala na po yung tape, siya na lang po ang magbabasa. Fourth is the reader's theater. It is the rehearsing and performing before an audience of a dialogue-rich script derived from a book, Students play characters who speak lines or a narrator who shares necessary background information. Reader's theater promotes cooperative interaction with peers. And dito po yung may mga iba't iba pong tono. Di po ba? Yung voices po ng characters. And what is critical here para maging maganda ang pong performance ng isang reader's theater, of course, is the repeated reading. And can recite it fluently with prosody. The last one is partner reading. Partner reading is a cooperative learning strategy in which two students work together to read an assigned text. Paired students take turns reading aloud to each other. For partner reading, more fluent readers can be paired with less fluent readers. And sometimes, pwede rin pong mag-partner ang dalawang bata na with the same level because after the teacher reads the story or the selection, later on, pwede na po silang dalawang magka-level ang magbasa. And here, nagkakaroon po ng time yung teacher to guide them while roaming around po inside the classroom. Why use partner reading? It allows students to take turns. It provides a mode of fluent reading and helps students learn decoding skills. It also provides direct opportunities for a teacher to circulate around the class and offer individual remediation. Now, after knowing the strong connection of fluency to comprehension and what we did a while ago, what then would teaching fluency be like for you? Please complete the statement. Teaching fluency is like because teaching fluency is like courting a woman because it requires a lot of patience. Okay, who else? Now let us go back to the anticipation guide, if it's agree or disagree. For number 1, it's agree. Why? Studies have shown that gains in fluency appear to lead to improved comprehension. Number 2, disagree. While automatic word recognition ensures fluent readers and can accurately and effortlessly decode text, it does not account for the ability to make oral reading like oral language. It is implicit that fluency involves reading with expression or prosody. And fluency is composed of 3 elements, which are, ano po yung 3 elements? Speed or rate, accuracy, automaticity, and expressiveness or prosody. Third, disagree because skilled readers instantly and accurately read on sight. They are able to focus their attention on understanding the text. So, hindi na kailangan isa-isa yung titingnan yung words. Number 4, disagree. Automaticity refers only to accurate speed word recognition, not with expression. Therefore, automaticity is necessary but not sufficient for fluency. Kasi tandaan po natin yung expressiveness, yung expression, or yung prosody. Number 5, agree. Research indicates that the best strategy for developing reading fluency is monitored oral reading, hindi po silent reading. Next, the last is agree. A round robin is the least effective strategy because in itself, it does not increase fluency. Maybe because students only read small portion lang po ang binabasa. Di ba kapag round robin? Small portion or read small amount of text and they usually read this once. Hindi na po paulit-ulit. Sorry po. Yan. Hindi na po siya paulit-ulit. And kailangan po kasi sa fluency to give this instruction, kailangan po repeated reading. So, it is with children who learn to read fluently and well, they begin to take flight into whole new worlds as effortlessly as young birds take to the sky. And before I end, I would like to show this video presentation.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
I just would like to relate this video presentation to a struggling reader and as teachers that at first the athlete there did the running, di ba po mabadili lang po siya. Like a struggling reader at first, kaya pa po niya. Kasi he or she can recognize words. However, bigla po siyang nasaktan po siya is doon na po siya medyo nahirapan kasi yung automaticity hindi pa po na-develop. And then later on, here comes the teacher who will guide that struggling reader and give corrective feedback to them, and then hanggang sa ma-attain po niya ang fluency, and then saka po niya medyo yung mag-isa na po yung mga bata. So with that, as teachers and as educators, sana po let's make a difference in the lives of our pupils, most especially to our struggling readers. Let us not only develop readers who can read, ibig sabihin, to decode words, but do reading and do reading lang, wherein the reader can find meaning in the text. But let us develop our readers to love reading, na kahit po wala po tayo sa kanilang mga tabi, ay nag-e-enjoy po sila magbasa. Thank you and good day po.
All right. You have heard so many good things right from the horse's mouth. So, let us go back to the focus questions, which you shall be answering as your assignment, and then submit to the given link as your output for recording. Reading fluency growth is greatest when students are working with you. Therefore, you should use most of your allocated reading instruction time for direct instruction, teaching of reading skills, and strategies. Direct instruction is especially important for readers who are struggling. Readers' independent reading takes time away from needed reading instruction. Fluency instruction is useful when students are not automatic at recognizing the words in the text, but have reasonable degree of accuracy in reading the words. All beginning readers need opportunities to develop fluency, especially from the second half of grade 1 through about grade 3, prime years for fluency development in typical readers. However, these opportunities will not be sufficient for some students who will require additional intervention in the area of fluency. Tara na! Sulong, edukalidad!
Welcome to CLMD in support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulang Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
This is Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
Thank you so much to our notable resource facilitator. A very heartwarming presentation, essentially engaging Dr. Nesosa L. Ambrona of the Island Guardian City of Samar
All right, Miss Ava,
on the independent
let
leaders.
let us invite them on screen. Now we have on screen Dr. Jesusa Ambrona and Dr. Gina Silvestre.
Good morning.
Hello, ma'am.
Morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning po. Ayan. Are you ready for our open forum, ma'am?
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so our viewers have sent their questions through our Padlet link. If you are ready, I will now throw the first question. From the Division of Java Oriental, as an expert, how can you help the K-3 teachers build a strong foundation in reading to eliminate frustration readers in higher grades?
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll
Yes,
answer.
ma'am. Gina.
Okay. So
Yes.
as I have said during my discussion with the topic in phonics, phonemic awareness should be founded so well in every learner. So the sound of every letter in a word. So they should be exposed to the different sounds first, phonological awareness, and then it should be founded, no? Phonemic awareness should be founded so well so that our children uh, find it easy for them to read, to decode words. And teaching phonics explicitly should be the best thing that a teacher could do in the classroom. And repeated reading, as what was said, no? In Ma'am Ambrona's session, repeated reading could also help our children to read well.
Thank you, ma'am. Would you like to add something, Ma'am Jesusa?
Okay. I would like to remind, especially the kindergarten teachers who are with us today, that inside the classroom, these kids in your hands are always having that activity of storytelling, di ba, teacher? The teacher, before the class starts, will always have the short storytelling, the rhymes, verses, and songs. All of those activities will lead to development of fluency and the phonemes, development of the sounds of the letters, especially the rhymes and jingles. At marami pa yan, ha? Marami pang ibang activities that develops reading phonics and the phonemes mastery.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jesusa. I hope the teacher who asked the questions is listening, and I believe that is so substantial. Your answers, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now let's proceed, ma'am. Another question from Igacos Division. From Igacos Division, what effective ways can you suggest for teachers in the higher grades who encounter non-reader in their class, considering that these teachers, though have little knowledge of these basic and phonemes, are not really that confident to apply what they know with the fear that they might give these things wrongly to the non-readers. How can this be effectively addressed?
Again?
Okay, so it's quite long, ma'am. Do I need to repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it again. What effective ways can you suggest for teachers in the higher grades who encounter non-reader in their class, considering that these teachers, though have little knowledge on these basics and phonics, are not really that confident to apply what they know with a fear that they might give these things wrongly to the non-readers? How can this be effectively addressed?
Okay. So what are the ways, no? What are the ways to improve or to eliminate non-readers in the higher grades, considering that our teachers have little knowledge on the basics of reading, beginning reading. That's the very reason, and I'm very thankful of Region 11 for allowing the K from the kindergarten teachers to grade 12 to participate or to join in this training, regional training on literacy, because we cannot deny that non-readers really exist in the higher grades, and our teachers there are not they're not capacitated with the teaching beginning reading. That's why we're very thankful that we included them in this training on literacy instruction, because we really need to go back to the basics as to expose the children and the different phonological or phonemes, phonological awareness, the sounds, even the sounds of in the environment, or the sounds of every letter. So that's phonemic. And then, because if they don't have that good foundation on those phonemic awareness, then it's really difficult for our children to read, especially those sight words. No? So that's it. So we need to capacitate our teachers in the higher grades so they can address this reading problem in the higher grades. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom Gina. Mom Hisusa, would you like to add, ma'am?
Yeah, that's why we are having this reskilling of teachers, because the higher grades are not well versed in the development of phonemic awareness, because that's for the kinder 1, 2, and 3. That's why that is the one of the purposes of DepEd, to have them in this training, so that they will also know what are the strategies to be implemented. Okay, that's all.
All right, thank you so much, Mom Gina and Mom Hisusa. I think Miss Ava, I think she still have one more question, Ma'am Ava, or two more questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Marjorie, for this. And of course, thank you to Dr. Gina G. Silvestre and Dr. Hisosa P. Ambrona. And of course, there are a lot of questions. And that let me facilitate this one, Miss Marge. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so let me check with our 11 divisions entire, the region 11. Okay, so this is, let me check with some of the questions given. Okay, so as a
I
facilitator,
think we have a question. Okay.
yes, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
from the Digo City. Okay, so we have the open forum for the 11 divisions. And then at this time, so we're done with the open forum, right, Miss Marge?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. We still have a question from Legal City.
Yes, tanong lang po, wonder lang po ako, anong ideal number of students to develop the fluency po ang pinag-usapan dito for session 5?
Okay, thank you for that question. No? Of course, if you have 40 in a class, of course, all of them must have to be developed their fluency in reading. But if you observe that already, uh, let's say, three-fourths of your class has this fluency in them while they are reading, of course, the remaining one-fourth should also be developed there. You should also develop their fluency. Hindi pwedeng pabayaan lang yung naiwan, no? So, much better if you have more fluent readers in your classroom. But as to ideal, of course, lahat dapat sila lahat talaga. No? So, if you're going to ask specific number na for ano talaga, for reading fluency development, of course, those children or learners that you noticed which are very struggling. They really struggle in reading. Nahihirapan talaga. Nag-ano lang sila, anong tawag doon sa Filipino? By syllable ang pagbasa nila. So those children need your attention. So they have to be directed, no? May direction talaga for fluency. That's why this session is being shown or being discussed in the literacy instruction, because we cannot do away the fact na without fluency, there would be no comprehension. This is the bridge from word recognition to comprehension. Okay?
Precisely
That's
correct
all.
by our expert, Dr. Hisosa P. Ambrona of the Island Garden City of Samao. And of course, at this time, we have a question from Davao City. How are we going to teach learner with letter S difficulty, like instead of saying S and some, T to me will be pronounced? From Davao City, how are we
Okay.
going to teach?
Yeah. So for those children who find it difficult for them to say the sound, then expose these children frequently to the phoneme it's the huh? Okay, so frequently expose these children to the phoneme so that uh, they can imitate and they can say the word. And it is very helpful for our children to be exposed to rhymes with the phoneme S, so that these children can say the word. If they are repeatedly exposed to these rhymes with S, letter S or the sound, then they can imitate. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Gina G. Silvestre. Very fundamental for our struggling learners out there. And of course, our
Yes.
heartwarming and very dedicated teachers to teach this in the academe. And of course, at this time, Miss Marge.
Yes, I think that's it for our open forum. We would like to once again thank Dr. Gina Silvestre and Dr. Jesus Ambrono for joining us at this very moment. Thank you so much, ma'am. We will send you
Thank you.
now
Thank you
again
very
Okay, thank
much.
backstage.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank
you for
you,
having
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you
me.
you.
very
Thank
much.
you, Miss Susan.
God
Thank you, Ma'am Gina.
bless.
God bless
All right. Thank you
everyone.
so much also to the thank you, ma'am. God bless you. Thank you also to the active participation of our viewers. Thank you for sending in your questions, and later we will have a brand new session, brand new facilitators, and brand new questions to answer. All right. And now, Maureen, our time is already 11:47 a.m. Before we end this morning session, I would like to remind everybody that our evaluation link yesterday is done. Okay, so the evaluation link for yesterday is done. We will open a new evaluation link for today, and that will be opened and posted later at 2:30 p.m. Again, the evaluation link for today will be opened and will be posted here at 2:30 p.m. But we request our viewers to evaluate only after the last speaker or after the last session this afternoon. We will open the link at 2:30, but we request everybody to answer only after the last session this afternoon. And for the link of our afternoon session, it's posted on the CLMD Facebook page. So please do check it out.
Indeed, and of course, that is the requirement for the certificate of participation, and they have to comply that in the online daily evaluation, and they have to check it out that once they are belong to English area, they have to comply the evaluation to the English area and for the
Yes.
Filipino as well.
For our
Okay.
viewers, Ma'am Ava, since this is the breakaway session for English teachers, so only answer or give evaluation for English. Okay? For English only. Do not bother to go into Filipino. Okay? So please answer only for the English. All right? I think that's it,
Oh,
Ma'am Ava. And before we end, evaluation will be open until maybe 10 p.m. tonight to give way to the 12,000 viewers. So we may experience traffic due to the bulk of the registrants. So we will let the evaluation link open until evening. All right. So that's it for me, Miss Ava. Our time is already 11:50 a.m. and I think it is fitting for us to take a break.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So our time once again is 11:50 a.m. Later, we will resume at 1 p.m. So for this morning, I am officially ending this live stream. I will see you again, or we will see you again together with Miss Ava later at 1 p.m. And for now, I will bid goodbye in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across